Hello everyone, Bill Adams, Realtor, Coldwell Banker Realty with you. Joining me today is Debbie Rochester. Debbie is the owner of All Good Home Watch. Debbie, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Excited to learn more about your business.
Excited to share about it.
All right, why don't we start by you telling us about All Good Home Watch?
So home watch is when people are leaving their home. Most people know about snowbirds, winter visitors, 6 months, but really it's anyone leaving for a couple of weeks because people should be having somebody watch their home. Sometimes you're gone even for a weekend or you're home and disaster happens. And so there's somebody there to be checking on your home. I'm insured, I'm bonded, and I've been trained. And so it's basically a visual inspection of your home, the outside, the inside, and then giving the homeowner peace of mind to let them know that everything's okay.
Yeah, I've heard many nightmare stories of water heaters leaking or power going off, the air conditioning breaking, and 110 degrees outside can do real damage to your home inside if your air is off.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great service. How did you happen to get into this business?
So I have an aunt who lives in Scottsdale. And before I moved to Arizona, I was living in Georgia. I actually went to go visit her, and she introduced me to a friend of hers. And when the friend walked away, she said, "Oh, she does home watch." And I said, "Really? What is that?" And so I went back to my place. I researched it and was trained. There's a couple of schools online that will train you to do it, and got started that way.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So as you were going through that process of learning about it and getting it started and now running it, I'm sure there were some memorable experiences. Care to share one with us?
Oh, definitely. I mean, just having a lot of the clients that I have, they actually do have a neighbor that might come in and check on the trickle cell or do something around their house. But I actually have some clients that the neighbors have gone in, and one of them turned on the electric fireplace, because when I went in there, I had to call my client and say, "Well, how do you shut it off?" And they're like, "Well, why is it on?" So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go in there and lower the AC, spend a little time there, turn on the electric fireplace. But some of the most memorable things right now are just the relationships that I have built with my clients. I had one of my clients actually hid a birthday present in one of their cabinets for me because they knew they were going to be gone over my birthday, or they called me on my birthday from Canada. Like, it's just creating these wonderful memories and relationships with my clients. So those are the things that kind of pop up when you say, what are some good memories or something memorable?
Yeah, it's got to make you feel good to have your clients remember your special days and take care of you.
Exactly.
All right. So what are some of the challenges that you run across in the business?
So a lot of people will say, "Oh, my next door neighbor's doing it." And I think the challenge is really letting people know the importance of having someone who's in well, there's no licensing, excuse me for that. They're working on that, getting licensing. Someone who's insured, who's bonded, and who's been trained, because it's more than just walking in, flushing toilets, and cycling the water. We've been trained to what are we going to look for. And let's pretend that there is an issue, and now the neighbor has to come over and let the vendor in and report back to you and make sure that everything's okay. And they're like, "I didn't really sign up for this." So this is something that's my business, and so not just like someone who's just stopping by once in a while, or if your neighbor forgets, or they spend a little time there, or they're going away for the weekend, things like that, that it's nice to have somebody that you can rely on without having to bother your neighbor.
Great. You had mentioned vendors. So I understand you offer a whole menu, so to speak, of services. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Of course. So I come across a lot of people who are maybe new to the area. This is their second home. They've just bought it. And so they don't know good landscapers or cleaners, or maybe they have a pest control service, but they're not as reliable. So they can always reach out to me, even if they're not using my service, and say, "Debbie, could you just recommend a good electrician? I need a fan being put up," or there was some kind of a leak in my house, I need a restoration company. So they can also turn to me for just vendors or referrals like that.
Sounds like a great service. So what do your clients say about you?
So some of the words that kind of pop up a lot are professional and details. And so I hear that a lot, even if somebody decides not to go with me, which I totally understand. I am friendly with a lot of the home watch companies, so if there is somebody who calls me and they're out of my service area, I will refer them to another home watch company. We've gone on each other's home watch visits, of course, with permission, and it's just interesting to see how people do their home watch visits because I'm always learning.
Okay, great. And what motivates Debbie?
I have the heart of a teacher. I used to be a teacher, and so just letting people know that everything's okay. I mean, even when we go to the grocery store, like, did we leave the oven on? Did I forget to shut the back door? I actually had a realtor, which is funny, reach out to me. She just was going up to Prescott, or if we say it Prescott, I don't really know. And she just called me up and she said, I need someone just to go and check to make sure I shut my garage. And so those are the things that I like really enjoy about my business. And she was just so happy, right? It's giving people peace of mind. And so that's what kind of brings me joy, is just letting someone being able to exhale because they're like, oh, someone's watching my home and everything's okay.
Yeah. I certainly can understand the peace of mind thing. The strangest things come to mind once you leave the house. Did I do this? Did I do that? Right. So having your own business, you started it, you're running it, you're successful with it. I'm sure that takes a lot of time and energy. What do you do for yourself? How do you have fun?
Oh, I like pickleball. I like to play pickleball a lot, and just connect with friends, read, relax. I just really enjoy being in Arizona, and so just kind of walking around the neighborhood, meeting new people. So.
All right, super. Well, I really appreciate you spending time with us today.
Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you and learning about your service.
Thank you.
Hey folks, if you want to have peace of mind when you're traveling, whether it be for an extended period of time or just for a long weekend, hey, Debbie can certainly help make that vacation a little more relaxing for you. If you have any questions, interested in the service, please reach out to Debbie.